Hello, Newark Naz. Just wanted to bring you greetings for another Friday update. We've been doing that for the last few weeks, and we're doing it again this week. I've got the moving boxes behind me in this picture on purpose because they signify really great news for us as a family. Sometime within the next few days, we will be permanent residents of Newark, Ohio, and Newark, Ohio only, and we're excited about that. Grateful that God has brought us to that point. Also want to invite you to worship with us online Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We're going to worship online again this Sunday morning. We are working in the background right now, trying to make our campuses ready for the day when we will arrive again to worship together and our campuses will be open. There's a couple of different kind of preparations that we're doing. One of them is physical preparation. We're compiling material to disinfect everything. We're figuring out how to strategize managing the number of people that will arrive so that we can keep good social distance and make things safe when we arrive there. And so we're doing a lot of things to be ready physically for that day. We're recruiting some volunteers to help us manage things well. But we also need to prepare ourselves spiritually and relationally for that day. As I've been thinking about that, I've been reminded of a story in the life of Jesus that involves two characters. One of them's name is Simon the Zealot. Simon the Zealot, at one point in his life, or at least at some of his life, would have been ready to violently rise up and throw off the oppression of the Roman government. Simon believed in very small government or no government at all. He wanted the government out of the affairs of everyone in his circle. Jesus called Simon the Zealot to be a part of the original 12. Jesus also called Matthew the tax collector to be a part of the original 12. Matthew served the Roman government. He spent his life as a Jew trying to convince other religious Jews to pay taxes to and to make nice with the Roman government and do the things that the Roman government called them to do. Jesus called Matthew the tax collector and Simon the Zealot to be a part of the original 12. The reason that's been on my mind is because there are people that I know from our congregation and really from every church who look at our situation right now with the social distancing and the stay-at-home orders in very different ways. There are people who will probably worship at home online for a very, very long time in the future. There are others who think we should never have closed the doors to the church. We understand that. And here's the thing. God has called us all to be His people, a part of the community of faith at Newark Naz. And so, in light of the fact that Jesus called Simon the Zealot and Matthew the tax collector, and God called you, and God called people who think very, very differently about what's going on in the world today than you do, I want to encourage you to pray that the Spirit would help us to be physically ready to worship together when our campuses do open, and that the Spirit would have us spiritually and relationally ready to worship together when the campus is open. As we get ready to, in the next few weeks, begin to open things up, whether you're at a store or whether you're out in the world at a park or in the moments when our campuses do become open, I encourage you, when you're deciding whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask, make some gesture or not make some gesture, deciding whether to make a comment or not make a comment, I encourage you to remember this. Jesus called Simon the Zealot and Matthew the tax collector. And Jesus has called you, and He's called people who think very differently than you about our current situation. So ask the Spirit to give you wisdom and discernment about physical things and about relational things. For now, I want to say, God bless you, and we welcome you to worship with us online on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. May the Lord bless and keep you.